Good evening. It is Monday, January 5th, 2026, and this is a meeting of the Common Council of the City of West Bend. More than 24 hours in advance of tonight's meeting, notice the time, place, date, and subject matter of the meeting was posted in accordance to Wisconsin state statutes. Clerk, can you confirm this meeting was properly posted?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. I invite you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
And it's down over there. With our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We recognize the quorum of our council here with us tonight. Alderman Zingsheim is excused absent tonight. Our first item of business is approval of the regular meeting minutes from December 15th, 2025.
Motion approved.
Second.
Thank you, Schmidt and Butchlick. Any comments, questions, corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our only item tonight for consideration is resolution number 52 to support the Washington County Sewer PAC funding. Jesse's going to kick that off for us.
Yes, thank you very much. What we have before the council this evening is a resolution brought forward through the Mid-Moraine Municipal Group for its member communities to take up for consideration. This is in response to Washington County's recent decision to withdraw from the Southeastern Wisconsin Regional Plan Commission, or SEWRPC as the acronym. I'll ask John Fellows to step up in just a minute here to talk through what SEWRPC is, how that Regional Plan Commission helps and serves the Southeastern Wisconsin community. But for right now, just by context regarding the resolution, it would be in support of being a member of SEWRPC. Right now, as of today, the Village of Jackson will be taking up the resolution later this month on the 13th. Hartford and Germantown have adopted the resolution and forwarded it up to the county. Kewaskum and Richfield chose not to take up the resolution with their governing bodies, primarily due to the fact that the decision was made and this resolution is coming after the fact. So there are different ways to look at this particular proposal this evening, but on the dais this evening as well was just for context with regards to the overall membership in SEWRPC. A recent late December news article out of the Waukesha Freeman, where SEWRPC remains an important partner for Waukesha County, but then it also speaks to Washington County's recent action to end the participation in SEWRPC. I understand that Washington County's current action does not take away from the idea of rejoining SEWRPC in the future. It is the counties that are members, not the individual municipalities are members in SEWRPC by virtue of county membership. And so I understand there is no restriction on Washington County potentially getting back in, but that decision would lie with the county board and their budgeting governance. For some further context before taking up this resolution, I would ask John Fellows to quickly walk through a highlighted view of who SEWRPC is and what they do for the communities.
So as Jesse had noted, SEWRPC represents 7 counties here in southeastern Wisconsin. SEWRPC also is our Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, for the region. This is how our local area receives state and federal funding and filters through the MPO. While southeastern Wisconsin makes up about 5% of the state's land area, it contains 35% of the state's population, jobs, and wealth. The creation of SEWRPC essentially started back in the 1960s through state law, through the creation of the commission. There are 21 commissioners. Those are appointed by the county board from the governor, as well as a list prepared by the county. So essentially there's 2 individuals for each county represented by a county appointee. And then the revenue for SEWRPC is actually generated through a regional tax levy that is also detailed within state law that can be levied through the levy of the counties, essentially. Couple highlights, just 4 little highlights about SEWRPC, and I'd be glad to answer any particular questions too. But federal and state coordination, in the article that Jesse mentioned, the last paragraph actually notes kind of a great little paragraph summarizing their federal and state coordination as an agency to bring those funds to the region. The commission anticipates coordinating $7.5 million in federal and state funding in 2026 to complement the $2.5 million contributed annually by the 6 counties. So they are able to, for the 2.5 that the counties levy, they bring in additional 7.5 through those types of aids. I'd also kind of mention value for service. And one of you before the meeting asked me a question about the use of SEWRPC, and actually I kind of would probably say a lot of communities probably don't use SEWRPC as much as they should. I've worked in other communities within the region and use SEWRPC fairly often for a variety of services and just expertise that may not be at the local level. And they can provide regional park and open space planning, environmental resources. They provide all sorts of statistical data that's used for economic development and growth, and that's relied on from development's perspectives. And so that information is very important from a recruitment perspective. Also, regional coordination. So there's a regional coordination with SEWRPC and other agencies such as Milwaukee 7 for critical economic development attraction, infrastructure investment, and coordination between local county lines. So we're in the middle of the county. We don't have those types of cross-county items, but for instance, if you live in Germantown and then you have Waukesha County just to the south, there's a lot of coordination from that perspective from like Menominee Falls or Germantown. As well as local support, they can provide at the request of communities assistance with comprehensive plans, with environmental studies, with outdoor recreation plans at a significant cost lower than what you would find on from a consultant perspective. But I'd be glad to answer any additional questions.
I do have a question. So you mentioned early in your statement that the SEWRPC previously for Washington County served as our MPO. If not SEWRPC, who is operating as our MPO as relates to coordinating or obtaining state and federal funds for projects within the county and or within our municipality?
I've asked that question to SEWRPC a number of months ago. That was a question that they were not prepared at that point to answer. It certainly wouldn't be them. State statutes basically assign the regional planning commissions as the MPOs, so there isn't an alternative from that perspective. There are a few counties in the state that are not represented by a regional planning commission, but they also don't have freeways that run through their counties. So they have they don't actually receive significant funding, so they kind of function okay that way. So it's been explained to me that is one of the areas that will need to be determined, or maybe that funding won't come towards us. I don't know.
Thank you.
John?
Yes.
So we've lived without this. The county believes that they can live without it. What's the compelling reason that we would want to be involved in this?
I guess my points of why we would be involved, from a municipal perspective, data. We use SEWRPC data extensively. A lot of the GIS layers are developed from SEWRPC. So when you go on to the Washington County GIS or you go to our GIS, a lot of those layers are actually from SEWRPC. Their population projections are also provided by SEWRPC. So most of the data that if a developer called me and asked me, I'm interested in West Bend, tell me about it, all of that data is stuff that we would actually get from SEWRPC. I could call them up, ask for that information. They have a number of expertise that if we had to go out on the private market to develop and get all that information, I'm not sure you would like what the price will be, but And I've never actually had to go ask a planning firm to develop all of that type of information, but they develop it at a regional level. There's a scale of economies there as they calculate that data. And they provide a lot of expertise. I was mentioning I worked in another community, and we were dealing with a certain situation with a floodplain. We had 2 private consultants and they disagreed about something in particular, and we were able to call up SEWRPC, and I asked, could you give me a quote on what the price would be? And they were like, oh, it will take us about X number of hours. That's included. There would be no additional cost. But I also called a couple other consultants, and the fee was in the thousands of dollars for that. So that was able to, in that situation, it was a savings for that community.
If I may jump in, we have on our docket of projects this coming year an update to our land use plan as well as our park and recreation plan. SEWRPC does assist, albeit a bit at arm's length, with projects like that as well through data and planning assistance and mapping assistance. So there's some additional local interest in that membership, if you will.
So they're already providing that for us?
Yes, and so like if we they would either provide it to us, or if there was a consultant working for us on our behalf and they contacted SEWRPC would provide that data. When we go off to do that particular project, obviously we wouldn't be able to use SEWRPC at this point for that project. We'd go onto the private market to hire a consultant. I don't know if the consultant's going to be able to get those projections and data from SEWRPC, or they're going to say that's not available, we're going to have to calculate it yourself. There's going to be this extra cost to that. I'm anticipating that would be the worst case scenario.
So there's some unknowns here in regards to the cost with SEWRPC or without it?
Correct. If I can tell you, if we were part of SEWRPC and we wanted to do something like an outdoor rec plan or an update to our comprehensive plan, the cost from a consultant or the cost they would give us, SEWRPC's cost would be significantly less, because I've gotten those comparisons in the past. I don't see any reason why that would be different. But going forward, I guess the unknown is when we go out to RFP to the private consulting world, usually the data that they're going to analyze and use as a basis of all their recommendations is going to come from SEWRPC. If that data and projections are not available, they're going to have to calculate those themselves.
Well, what benefit would it be for us to, or what benefit would there be for SEWRPC, for us to be involved with SEWRPC, if we go to the consultant route on something, and then SEWRPC can't provide them with the data? What benefit is there? Follow what I'm saying?
So I guess it wouldn't be that SEWRPC wouldn't provide the data. They just were not part of SEWRPC, so therefore they wouldn't provide us that data and that calculation. Then the consultant would do it, and therefore the time the consultant to calculate those numbers or calculations would be then charged to us. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm going to make up some numbers on the fly here, but let's say we had a project and it was going to be a $100,000 study, and we were going to use SEWRPC data and that type of thing. And then if we go out and that data is not available, I could anticipate that cost would be 120, 130, because that base data is going to have to be created by the consultant rather than received by a partner agency. But I couldn't exactly tell you what that percentage difference is, but in the consulting world, I would think it would be significant.
So how does the county think this is going to save money? I mean, if the county thinks they're saving $200,000, but West Bend, Jackson, Hartford, all those communities have to go to private consultants, isn't that going to be more expensive for taxpayers in the long run than if the county had just paid the $200,000 and that would help everybody?
You could argue that. I mean, I guess the question is it going to cost the taxpayers of West Bend more, or is there something else that in our budget of West Bend that if there's a value there that project happens and some other project doesn't? So It may be something that could be reflected on their tax bill, or it's just going to be reflected more on services or the difference between, an outdoor rec plan and a playground or a new playground or something. There might be decisions like that. So.
I just had a clarifying question about the cost. So if I'm understand this, Washington County used to be a part of it or was a part of it, and we received the services on Washington County's behalf. Did we pay Washington County who paid SEWRPC, or is it something they paid independently and now we're incurring the cost?
So how I understand it is, I'm going to try to explain this as simple as I can, and there might be a little bit of a flaw in this. Essentially, the way the law was created to create the regional planning commissions, basically the state basically says that counties will create the levy. So you have your county levy, and then there's going to be a regional planning commission levy. That regional planning commission levy is added on top of the levy for the county. The county collects the dollar amounts on your tax bill, and then that smaller levy that's supposed to go to the regional planning commission is then written as a check to the regional planning commission. So the commission is allowed up to a 0.003% of equalized value for the region. That's the state statutes. In 2024, the levy that they had was 0.0009, so there's an extra zero in there. The 2025 rate was 0.0008, and in 2026, the amount was 0.00079. So it was a slight increase from 1 year to the next. The cost in Washington County was $187,800, and the 2026 an estimated dollar amount for Washington County would have been $197,275, which was an increase of $9,000. The difference between the 2 years. The only county that pays a little bit less than Washington County is Ozaukee. Back in 25, they were paying $141,900. The two largest communities would be Waukesha and Milwaukee. Milwaukee was paying $769,000 and Waukesha $680,000. That gets to that $2.3 million of their budget. So Waukesha and Milwaukee definitely had the larger lift from a regional perspective. Did I answer your question, or did I give?
I'm not sure if you answered my question. I mean, I was asking just a very more simpler question. Was simply that. So a year ago, were we paying for this as a city?
I would say that the citizens of Washington County or the citizens of West Bend, through their county taxes, were paying the levy that is stated in the state statutes for the Regional Planning Commission.
So we're basically just
you do not
paying for something we used to pay for, and it just said we have less partners paying for it because some members of the county don't want to be a part of this. Is that
the whole entire
simple?
Let me back up.
Sure.
So it's really the county is the government agency that creates the levy through the state statutes. So they basically raise the money. It is part of the total levy that you see on your tax bill. And they have chosen to step out, so they will not be sending a check to Regional Planning Commission. How they decided what's on your tax bill levy and what happened with the levy from 25 that was going to the Regional Planning Commission, I can't really get into. That would be a question probably better for someone from the county finance to explain, I would guess.
Okay.
And I have talked to SEWRPC. They would be glad to come and talk, ask more, answer more detailed questions from that perspective. So if there's a meeting in the future, you'd like to have them come, they'd be glad to at any point. Even if it's probably a month or two, they'd be glad to come out.
So to dovetail off of John's point of SEWRPC would be willing to make themselves available to answer more questions if the council would have more questions about who SEWRPC is, what they do, how they're funded. Time is clearly not of the essence with this item this evening. The decision has been made. The county's budget and levy has been adopted and implemented, which does not include a SEWRPC membership. We as a community would remain in contact with them because we would look to still utilize their data. So in short, as I mentioned, a couple of communities chose not to take this up because of being after the fact. A couple of communities did adopt this resolution in support of being a member. One other is looking to take it up later this month. With that, the council could choose to table this to see what all of the other communities within the county will look to do with this resolution, or you may take action this evening. SEWRPC does have an important function to the city as part of our economic development activities, but as I mentioned previously, the county has not necessarily 100% closed the door on that membership in the future. That remains to be seen. So there are two sides to this coin. Pardon me for being a bit wishy-washy on it, but I think it might be in our best interest at this time to table the matter. Let's see what the other community here, the Village of Jackson, does with regards to this resolution. That would give us an entire county-wide context, and we could go from there.
I'd make a motion to table this.
All right, there's a motion and a second to table tonight's resolution number 52. Any more comments, questions, discussion?
I have one.
Sure, John.
First off, why is the county, basically this, I see SEWRPC as kind of a subscription service with the information. It's a data service. $200,000 from the county budget to come out of there, which is 3 cents on the thousand, or what, not even a thousandth of a cent. We're excluded from the whole region planning area. It doesn't make sense. I wish the county would have explained it more. The services that SEWRPC offers would be nice to know. And I agree. I think we need to table. We need more information. I think we need to hold the county accountable as to why this is being done. I mean, I saw this today when I saw the agenda. What's going on?
Well, wasn't this a done deal?
Are we pinching pennies or what? But it's a done deal in December. I got it. It's over. But why? I don't agree with the decision.
I don't either, and what irks me is that they didn't consult all the communities that are involved. Did they ask our opinion? No. We didn't even know about it until it was a done deal, pretty much. I mean,
it's going to cost the city money, because if we have to do a consultant to bring the data together, it's going to cost more than $200,000 to get that data. It just doesn't make sense.
That seems like essential data at times, yeah.
I don't know if we were officially consulted about leaving SEWRPC. I can speak for myself. I was not. I did read about this in the newspaper. It was covered a little bit as part of the county's budgeting process. I have talked with the county executive about it during the budgeting process. They were facing a deficit that they needed to make some cuts, and this was one of them that was proposed to the county board, that we don't see the value in SEWRPC anymore, and so we're going to leave SEWRPC. Whether or not you vote in favor of this resolution, again, like Jesse said, the county has adopted their budget, but we're essentially just saying, hey, county, we saw a lot of benefit to this. And the newspaper article, Pam Conrath, the county supervisor, requested the financial impact of leaving SEWRPC, which I think is a great thought and statement. And if we engage with SEWRPC and they say, hey, we're going to charge you $50,000 to do X, that's something that as a city, we can report that to the county and say, hey, information that could have been made available to us by being a member for $200,000 is now going to cost us X. And I think we need to keep track of that. And whether or not we actually engage with SEWRPC because of the cost, or we have to turn down a project because of the cost. Something we can definitely document and report. So,
Oh, and if we're going to be in favor of tabling this, I think the next step needs to be, we need to ask those questions of SEWRPC to get an understanding of what is the economic impact to the city of West Bend and the taxpayers of the city of West Bend, because as this was being levied by the county, obviously it didn't have as significant of an impact on the city as a direct expense to the city for the services that would be related to data mining to get to data that would have been available for free as a part of that subscription service bill, as you kind of called out.
yeah, and another part of this article is it mentions municipalities have the ability to remain in SEWRPC to receive its services. I wonder what that cost is. If we say, hey, the city of West Bend, we want to be a member of SEWRPC, can we be a member ourselves for $75,000 annually? And so some questions that maybe need to be asked and answered.
And it sounds like we didn't utilize any of this. Did we? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got the opposite impression. I don't know, it's,
All right, good thing we only had one topic tonight, but it's an interesting one. Any more comments, discussion on this? We've got a motion and a second to table it.
So if we table this, it comes back at the next meeting, or determine that?
I would look to bring it back. We would have to determine when the SEWRPC representatives would be able to stop back to make that informational presentation to the council, get these questions asked and answered. So it would kind of be dependent on that. We would look to get it back here in front of you guys as quick as we can, but we would have to schedule the SEWRPC reps to come in. But I would get it back here on an agenda as quick as I could.
And that would impact our budget.
If the city would choose to go the route of a local membership, if you will, that could, but that is all information we would have to get smart about, because we don't, that notion of a local membership is a brand new concept. Has always been the counties being a member on behalf of the locals. So this standalone City of West Bend membership, that is a brand new concept. That is something we would have to vet out with SEWRPC to see what that looks like, what that cost could be, and that could be all part of that follow-up discussion that I'm understanding you folks are very interested in having, that I would look to get scheduled to have SEWRPC here and talk us through those different iterations, if you will.
Yep, exactly. Need more info.
Any other comments?
The only question would be for Ian is tabling the appropriate terminology for this, or does that require it to come back on the next agenda?
No, I mean, I think you can delay consideration indefinitely until we have the SEWRPC.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do I need to take a vote on tabling it, or do we just say no?
Yeah, I would
action today?
take a vote on it.
Take a vote.
Yep.
We've got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have two items that may be appropriate for closed session tonight. Our first is under, oh yeah, I forgot that.
You can skip it.
Sorry, thank you. All right, let's do our reports tonight. Library Board. Brett.
I tried. I could shorten the remark. No. Are you kidding? I put this all together. Sir, the last meeting of the library board was held on December 16th of last year. Sounds like so long ago, doesn't it? Happy New Year. But it wasn't. And the meeting started just like every other meeting, as is our practice. Call to order, pledge of allegiance, consent agenda, minute meeting, you know it. Expense reports, financial reports. This month, we recognize an anonymous donor known only to God and that person, and Steve and Joseph, and they've been sworn to secrecy. So thank you to that anonymous donor. The library director's report included another update on flood damage, advising that the end is in sight. There's a little painting yet to do downstairs. Shelving replacement is going better than expected because of the effort of an employee, Terica, the youth services manager. She did some finagling and resulted in getting more shelves than expected for a lower cost. Woohoo! So, Steve briefed us on library cooperation with the Wisconsin Association of Home and Community Education, Inc., the HCE, who is now meeting in the library after losing their space in the County Government Services Building. Our missions aligned, so it was kind of a win-win situation that they co-locate with us because we both provide books and reading programs to children. Steve commented on the search for a deputy director is in its final stages as a candidate is expected to be on board sometime the beginning of February. The library board president reported on a meeting that she and Steve had with Jesse. She reported a very good meeting. Okay, very good. That's good, yeah. And at which she explained the library's contracts with the county concerning capital improvements and other items. Steve stated that he is looking forward to further conversation involving the library's unique position in city government. Consent agenda items for consideration included the emergency closing policy, which we postponed for another meeting, approval of a backflow prevention valve for our plumbing system, along with a water softener system that would reduce the possibility of valve failures in the future, and an update on replacing our outdated self-check machines. Also discussed was an upgrade to the PA system that has been determined to be deficient. The upgrade would correct deficiencies by increasing the number of speakers and properly spacing them throughout the building and outside the area of Patrons Park. The action was approved. Finally, Steve briefed us on the topic of adding partitions to increase the number of very popular study rooms in the library. This topic was also postponed as discussion in this matter needed more information based on future collection moves. We're planning on moving some of the books around and some layout issues. So having no further business, Deb reminded us that the next meeting is January 2nd, or 20th, and we adjourned. There you go.
Thank you very much. The Parks and Rec Commission did not meet in the month of December, so we won't have a report on that tonight. Our administrator's report.
Well, I'm going to stay in the library vibe. I participated in the Free Coffee Friday event this last Friday. It was a blast. Had a couple of hours of good conversation, chatting with residents about, who I am, my professional background, but also, the vision we have as a community moving forward to continue the positive momentum we have, how the departments come together and work together, and yes, how, in fact, the library is unique within the structure of the city government and its operations. But great event. Just appreciated the opportunity to get out in front of folks and just talk through. Surprisingly enough, they did want to discuss road conditions a little bit here in the community and what we're going to do about that. But it was overall a very good chat with them, very positive. There's a lot of strong feelings about what we should be doing as a community, and but very good, constructive conversations. So with that, appreciate the opportunity to get out in front of folks. A really nice event over at the library, Free Coffee Fridays. They are now back up and running since they had closed that event down following the storm and the remodeling and whatnot. So they're back with those events, great events. Be on the lookout. You may even get an invitation. So good time at the library. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any alderman reports tonight?
I just wanted to extend a brief thank you again to Public Works for addressing our road conditions and plowing and being proactive. I've appreciated getting the reports about when the salting has been done and what pre-treatment has been done and so forth. So just a thank you and keep up the good work of the Public Works, Doug and Logan. So that's all.
Great.
Jesse, I would reiterate that. I appreciate being in the loop on that. So I have answers from my constituents when they call me. So absolutely. You can pass that along. Will do.
Great. Anybody else? All right. I don't have any report to give tonight other than we do have a bid facade grant meeting tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here in the council chambers. Plan Commission tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Tourism Commission is the 13th at noon. Kind of a neat community, not event, but meeting happening here in this room on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and it's an information session on the skate park. And so I don't know what the Parks and Rec team is going to be showing if they've got some drawings or sketches, but just an opportunity to come kind of see what they have planned for Regner Park's skate park. And obviously a big fundraising effort will go into that this year.
Did you mention, Joe, the time on that?
I believe it's 6 o'clock in this room on Wednesday night.
Okay.
All right. We do have a couple of items that may be appropriate for closed session tonight. Both are under state statute 19.851E, which is deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. The first item would be a closed session to discuss possible terms for a development agreement in TID number 17 for the proposed industrial development located east of 18th Avenue and south and east of Corporate Center Drive. The second topic would be a potential purchase agreement for portions of tax parcels, 3 tax parcels located within TIF number 14, which is our industrial park. I believe I probably need to take a vote on both items separately. So the first one I will take a roll call vote on. Again, discuss possible terms of a development agreement in TID number 17. Alderman Berquist.
Aye.
Alderman Engelking.
Aye.
Alderman Sternig.
Aye.
Alderman Butchlick.
Aye.
Alderman Sparts. Aye. Alderwoman Sizer.
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt.
Aye.
All right, we'll take another roll call vote for the second topic, which is potential purchase agreement for 3 parcels within TID 14. Alderman Sparts. Aye. Alderman Schmidt.
Aye.
Alderwoman Sizer.
Aye.
Alderman Engelking.
Aye.
Alderman Sternig.
Aye.
Alderman Berquist.
Aye.
Alderman Butchlick.
Aye.
All right, we are now in closed session. We may reconvene into open session tonight, so I'm going to leave that kind of open at this point. If we don't reconvene, we will obviously adjourn our meeting from closed session, but we'll leave that open for now. Thank you. All right, it is 8:30 on the dot, and we are reconvening into open session. We had an item that we discussed during closed session, and we're going to take some action on that tonight. So I'm going to ask our attorney, Ian, to take us through a suggested motion.
Yep. So the suggested motion is to authorize the city administrator to sign the purchase sale agreement after final approval from planning, engineering, and legal, after final review from those three departments.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Sternig and Alderman Butchlick. And again, the tax parcels are listed on our agenda tonight that we're talking about. And are there any comments, questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And that is our last item of business, and our meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thanks, Ian. Yep. See you in the morning.